What's up, internet, YouTube, internet people, and YouTube people? So today we have Terry Farrell's diary, or to be more exact or precise, travel diary. And it's about, or this is about, Terry Farrell's trip to Africa. And there's a couple pictures. This one is I guess Terry Farrell somewhere, and the other picture and so this article or magazine story is called Call of the Wild, Letting Her Camera Be Our Guide. Becker's Terry Farrell goes on safari in Kenya and learns to trust her basic instincts. And this is from In Style, April 2000. Now, for those of you who don't know, real quick, Kenya is a country that is in eastern Africa, and while I'm already talking about the Africa, I might as well bring up the other Terry Farrell Africa stuff. And there was a stamp, a Terry Farrell stamp that was made in the Africa country, the Republic de Cote d'Ivoire. And yeah, it's just a Terry Farrell stamp. And the 200F means 200 francs, which is the currency that is used in that place in Africa. Okay, so alright, so this article says, perhaps you could call it animal attraction. Upon learning that she had 2 weeks off from her hit CBS series Becker, Terry Farrell seized the opportunity to fulfill a dream. The single 36-year-old actress booked a safari in Kenya with Makato Safaris that pitted her against a host of personal fears. First off, she had to face the prospect of vacationing alone. I thought it would be awful, says the former elite model. That's one reason I put the trip off for so many years. I was waiting to go with somebody. Instead, she would be joining a group of strangers in Nairobi, and getting there would take a whole day and a half. Adding to the challenge, she had to quit smoking, or she had just quit smoking after 17 years, but the trip proved transformative. People who travel are excited to meet people from different places, so I never felt alone. Nikon in hand, Farrell spent 9 days crossing the African bush by prop plane, jeep, and hot air balloon, visiting tribal villages and taking trips to see the animals at feeding times. There's a huge spiritual connection when you're watching animals live, she says. It reminds you that we're part of all that. Mark Morrison. And the picture here says, Farrell explores the bush country of Kenya's Amboseli Park with its striking acacia trees above. She meets children of the Maasai below, the tribe known for their colorful fabrics and hunting skills. On the other side it says there's some more pictures of Farrell and stuff. Artifacts and animals. At the Mara Safari Club Airstrip's duty-free shop, right? I bought pouches of sand and lion's hair, like something a Maasai warrior's son wore long ago to mark his manhood. Far right, everyone was tentative about touching the black rhino till we realized he's okay with it. Into Africa. It makes every Wyoming look tiny, says Farrell, pictured here surveying the Kenyan countryside from a jeep. Before leaving home, I bought khakis at the Gap and shirts from Sun Precautions, but I barely changed my outfit the whole trip. The temperature was around 75 degrees. I thought it would be much sunnier. It was overcast and the nights were cold, but the weather wasn't very extreme. Twice daily, game runs offered close-up looks at the wildlife. You see zebras, water buffalo, and gazelles walking around together. It was like we were one of them, just another creature that wasn't going to eat them. The only animals that freaked out about us were the warthogs, which were so cute. And one lion gave us a double take that was pretty scary. We got ourselves out of there. I watched Out of Africa before I went. Meryl Streep gets scared by a lion and sleeps near the drivers around the fire. I turned it off because I thought that's going to happen to me, and everyone's going to have someone with them but me. The first night at Masai Mara, I did hear lions on the attack, and you knew some animals bit the dust that night. Here's some other pictures. Hot spots. Cheetahs are notoriously elusive, but the actress managed to capture this one right on film. The animals in Africa are so perfectly marked, if they don't want to be seen, they're not seen at all. Take this cheetah for example. It looks like it's falling asleep. Then it will hear something and become very alert, which is scary. Far right, the Mount Kenya Safari Club Resort, our last stop. Zebras of a different stripe. At the petting zoo of the Mount Kenya Safari Club, Farrell fell in love with the zebroid left, a rare zebra-horse hybrid. They were so friendly. I just wanted to take one home. Nestled in the foothills of Mount Kenya, the country's highest peak, the club has long been a stomping ground for well-traveled thrill seekers. Once owned by William Holden, it has hosted everyone from Winston Churchill to Bob Hope, who was a co-founder. Neck and call. The giraffes were one of the biggest surprises of the trip. I thought they'd be gangly, but they were graceful, beautiful creatures. Some were right outside my room at the Sweetwater's tented camp in the heart of Old Pejeta Ranch and Rhino Reserve, which overlooks one of the busiest waterholes in the area. This was the first time I saw so many in one place. They were hanging out at a man-made salt lick. We were told there the only animals in Africa that don't make a sound. They looked right at me when I was trying to take this photo. I was hardly moving and they sensed I was there. It made me feel that the naturalists at Mara were right. They think giraffes communicate with each other through those strange horns on their heads. When the giraffes argue about something, they take turns hitting each other across the neck, and when they're tired, they're a little bruised, but they go about their business. They're really very civilized. And this is a State Farm advertisement. Okay, so there's some more pictures. You see if I could just zoom this real quick. But there is a sign that Terry Farrell is standing next to, and it says Kenya. This sign is on the equator, Nanyuki, altitude 6,389 feet. And the sign in back of that sign says Sportsman the taste, the low taste. I don't know, it says something. And behind that, I'm not sure if it's a picture of I don't know what the other signs are. It's too small, but yeah. Some more pictures. Crossing the line. On the way from Sweetwaters to the Mount Kenya Safari Club, we crossed the equator. There was a man standing by this sign at the side of the road, right, who sold certificates saying that you'd crossed it. By this time, which was day 8 of the safari, I just wanted to hang out by a pool and read. I brought all these books, but I didn't have the time. Days would start at 6 in the morning and dinners would last till 11 at night. Though I heard one, I never did see a kill in Africa, just a jackal, a marabou stork, and a vulture fighting over a piece of meat. I also saw lions watching a field full of wildebeests waiting for a kill. I would have loved to witness the whole circle of life process. Still, it's amazing to see the unique differences there are in the world and to celebrate them. That's something I won't be afraid to take advantage of the next time I go traveling, and it's all because of this trip. I learned it's nice to experience things for yourself, that you don't have to be afraid of being alone, so this really was great for me. India is next on my list. I've always wanted to see the Taj Mahal. It takes a village. In Bosley, Farrell visited the famed Maasai people. Though they still maintain an ancient way of life, they are accustomed to tourists. You have to pay a fee to take their pictures. They sang traditional songs and sold us their wares. I bought a necklace, recalls the actress, who was surprised to learn that many of the Maasai spoke English. While it is Kenya's official language, most tribal members speak Kiswahili, the national language. Elephant walk. During a game run in the Masai Mara, these elephants walked right in front of us without changing their gait. It was the coolest, most peaceful moment of the trip. And on the back is a Caesar Select Diners dog food commercial. Extraordinary food for extraordinary dogs. Little dogs never have a bad hair day. And that is that.